Yes, everybody, welcome back to Flat Cap Bureau Talk. And this one, I'm going to be reviewing Manuel Lazzari, the Italian international who currently plays for Lazio. I'm going to be doing kind of a bit of a scout report on him, kind of a quick and easy one, and going to be comparing him to Emerson Royale and see, how they might compare stats wise, how they just compare just as players. I have seen plenty of Manuel Lazzari, so I actually do have a bit of an indication on what type of player he could be because we have been rumored with signing him. He'd be, kind of an alternative to Matt Doherty. I feel like Matt Doherty is being rumored and leaving Spurs this January window. So Manuel Lazzari does kind of make sense. It's like a very kind of quick fix sort of competition for Emerson Royale. But quickly on the background, he's born in Valdagno, Italy, which is, I believe, in northeastern Italy. He's 28 years old, born in 1993. So he is kind of more of a you might say of an experienced player, but he certainly has only really gotten his best spells of football towards the latter end of his career. His club is currently Lazio. His youth career was at Montecchio Maggiore, which I believe is like an older kind of, I don't know, just not so well known. Um, Italian club with a decent youth system, 5 feet 5 feet 8.5 inches tall, 1.74 meters. I guess every half inch counts when you're not that tall, like Lazzari. His position is kind of a right wing back slash right midfielder. He can't really play fullback. I feel like if he were to play in a back four, he wouldn't be able to do it. But he can play very kind of competently and very well in kind of a back three, back five sort of system as that flying wing back. I've seen him. He's absolutely rapid before. And so I will say he does do well in that position. His market value is around 13.5 million pounds and his contract expires in 2024. This is exactly why I feel like he is kind of rumored with us. Of course, I'll be reviewing some other right wing backs that potentially be better options. But the reason why I think we are rumored with Lazzari is because he is more of a kind of a quick fix, cheaper sort of option to bring in to compete with Emerson Royale. And he's for the here and now. And I believe Antonio Conte as well as Paratici have taken a liking to Lazzari. His attributes include his pace. I mean, like I said before, he's a really, really, really pacey player. I've seen him actually beat Alphonso Davies down the wing before. I've seen him catch up to Alphonso Davies before, which I think is a real indication of how rapid this guy truly is. I'm not kidding. One of the most rapid players I've seen in my lifetime. He is a very decent dribbler, very good ball carrier, knows how to beat the man, knows how to be able to deliver the ball into the box after kind of skidding past his player. He has good delivery in there. I think his can be very dangerous on that wing. Again, take yourself back to, I believe, last season's kind of Champions League tie between him and Bayern Munich. He absolutely was probably Lazio's best player during that match. They obviously got kind of spanked by Bayern Munich, but I feel like he was, in fact, one of their better players, which I think is an indication of what he can do in that sort of right wing back position. His stamina, I feel like, is very strong. Again, I kind of focus on that Bayern match, which I think is a good indicator of what type of player he can be, because that's a very, very solid opposition to come up against. And his stamina really did come out to me. He was just bombing up and down the wing and really was causing a bit of trouble down Alphonso Davies' side. He's a great ball carrier as well, which I must say his dribbling and his pace is of what I would say are probably some of his better attributes. But a lot of people have requested this, and I think it is a very good request. And I think a good way to maybe look at sometimes some of these players is to kind of compare maybe the stats with players that we currently have at Spurs. And it must be said, I feel like for this one and Lazzari, yes, he's only played one fewer match than Emerson, but their minutes have not nowhere near been the same. Lazzari seems to have not been playing very many minutes. I believe he's probably been coming off the bench, having a few cameos, not exactly starting for Lazio this season under Sarri or Maurizio Sarri this season. So kind of is hard to really compare sometimes their stats. Sometimes why I'm a bit hesitant maybe to compare stats of players, but nonetheless, I think it will work out when we do other kind of reviews of players that we are potentially rumored with slash should look at. But let's go into it. Matches played 16 and 15, but again, must be said, Lazzari did not play nearly as many minutes so far this season as Emerson has. Key passes. Emerson has played 11 key passes, while Manuel Lazzari has played three, which I think is a good indication for Emerson. He is playing a fair amount of key passes into the penalty area, 11 versus 6. This is where it is a bit kind of scary to see Lazzari be so close to Emerson, despite how many more minutes he's played. And goal creating actions, I believe Emerson has created 3 while Lazzari has created 2, or it might be the other way around. I think I accidentally flipped those. But again, that's a scary indicator because Emerson, we all know, should be a lot better going forward. He's very solid defensively, but should be a lot better going forward. And maybe that's what Lazzari can offer, is just someone who would be a bit better going forward than Emerson, certainly. Passes made under pressure. Emerson has made 118, while Lazzari has made 41. I would say, actually, under pressure, when someone's closing him down, Emerson actually, I think, plays very, very smart. I think he knows how to play a pass inside to a player, doesn't take a lot of risks with it. But at the same time, I think when he finds himself one on one with a player and you want him to be, create a good cross, create a good delivery, he really does struggle. But when I've seen him being put under pressure, when I've seen him being closed down, I think he makes the right decisions. My seeing eye test, these aren't even stats. And I guess the stats do kind of back it up here. But in my opinion, when he is closed down in the wing, when he is kind of like has those little tight angles and trying to find that pass inside, I think he actually does quite well with it. But it's really in other moments going forward where I think he really does struggle. His crosses 32 versus 15. And again, I feel like that should be so much higher for Emerson. It really should be. Tackles and interceptions. This is where I'm probably being a bit nice to Lazzari or even other players. I think really, if you look across Europe's top 5 leagues at the moment, or even the Premier League alone, no one really compares to Emerson in terms of defensive output. The guy defensively has some of the highest numbers in the entire Europe's top 5 leagues. So I didn't really want to just burn away Lazzari with those sort of numbers, especially considering the minutes difference between the two. But so far this season, Emerson has already made 88 tackles and interceptions combined this season, which, believe me, is a lot. While Lazzari has made 21. A number of players dribble pass. Emerson has only skinned 8 players, while Lazzari has already skinned 15, which again is a real indication of like Emerson needs to improve going forward. He's not very good at beating his man off the dribble, needs to improve on that mark. And Lazzari, who's played much fewer minutes, has already shown that he is much better in that regard. And also progressive carries, look how similar they are as well. And again, you just have to stress how many minutes Lazzari has played in comparison to Emerson. I feel like Lazzari has played almost 400 to 500 fewer minutes than Emerson has this season. And yet he does compare to Emerson in a lot of these stats, when it comes to going forward, when it comes to kind of creating and, offensive output and or attacking output. And so Emerson needs to improve that regard. Then look at the other side of the coin where it comes to defensive output. No one really compares in Europe's top 5 leagues to Emerson. And maybe we'll slam that home a bit later on another sort of player kind of comparison with Emerson. But that'll be all for now in terms of this one. Hopefully you kind of like that stats breakdown, maybe no highlights for this one, just kind of, stats breakdown between someone that we are heavily rumored with, and that is Manuel Lazzari. I'm thinking of doing Ridley Baku, someone who is probably a bit more unrealistic that we would go after, but I feel like is someone very much worth looking at as also someone to compare to Emerson Royale in that right wing back position, because according Matt Doherty should be out the door this January window, which makes you think that, this is a position that we need to bolster up and have some real competition for Emerson. I don't want Emerson falling into that same sort of position that Region did last season, where he had no competition in his sort of spot in the starting 11. I want someone competing with him and kind of offering something a bit different. And so someone like Lazzari could be that choice. Maybe Ridley Baku would be a better choice, but we will continue to look at right wing back options to compete with Emerson. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please like, please subscribe, hit that notification bell to never miss another scout report like this one, and I'll be seeing you.